All right. Welcome to the first ever PitchFest that is being done live on campus for Lisa. And this is the cohort 7 of the 7 cohorts that we've been leading since 2020. And we always start our sessions with a lot of gratitude to this lead community because we've seen that a lot of you have contributed, not just as founders and founding teams, but also as facilitators, mentors, design thinking facilitators, workshop leaders. So it's been a lovely journey in the last 3 years with you guys having contributed to the initiative that just started with 6 people, and now we have done about 170 plus startups from this ecosystem. Um, I don't know how many of you guys know these startups, but these are the startups that have been actually doing extremely well as part of Lisa. Some of the founders are here. There's Niels at Me2We, from Niels from Beer Moments. We have also Sensitel with Raysica. And 2 of our startups have also been acquired. So we have seen a lot of success with the founding teams that have kind of brought their ideas forward just from scratch and then built businesses around it. Our story in numbers, I mean, we started in 2020. We have done 170 plus startups through 7 cohorts. And it's a 12-week, very intensive program that people go through, which is actually designed around Stanford Embark curriculum, which has been designed by Stanford faculty. And we have founders represented in 37 countries, which is something very unique to Lisa, because it's something which is community makes it possible because of its diversity. We've had a pool of 100 plus mentors, 2,000 plus follower community, as well as 900 plus years of collective experience that we are passing on to the founding teams that are originating from this community. And of course, 2 exits. Something that we are also very proud of is we are actually not just something which is within LEAD, but also trying to make connections to the wider Stanford ecosystem. So if you can see, we've always been, so the past 3 years, very important part of Me2We. So we always host events with Me2We. We are using Stanford Embark, which is entrepreneurship curriculum designed by Stanford faculty. We were a very important part of Stanford Rebuild that happened in 2020, where we actually were the exclusive partners from Stanford Lead perspective. We've also had in the past MSX, MBA, and Stanford Seed programs as founders who've kind of worked with us as part of the cohorts. Reaction has been a very valued partner. This is another group, which is a venture funding group from SEP, and they have always been coming back to us in terms of the jury members throughout the last 3 cohorts. We also have been working with lead initiatives which are within the community, which is Lead Innovation Tour as well as Lead Impact Club, where we are enabling their expertise to be brought to our founders in terms of ESG workshops or innovation tour with entrepreneurs across the world, which is outside the Valley. And we have some new partnerships maybe coming up as well. We have from Spike Ventures, Naren here, who's visiting us for the first time, who's also a partner club of Alumni Ventures from Stanford alums. We also have, she's not come in yet, but from Immersive we have Joanna from Immersive Capital. She is actually been invited by Professor Fern Mendelbaum, who is teaching entrepreneurship from diversity perspective at Stanford. So we're also looking at having more initiatives doing together with Lisa community. Over to you.
I can speak now? Okay. Yeah, a big part of when we founded Lisa was really to have that lead community engagement, right? There's so many big brains in this room and throughout the community, and it just seemed like so much wasted potential that we weren't taking advantage of. So that was really the base, one of the big reasons for bringing Lisa together. And another, of course, is the continued alumni engagement, which I know this room is largely comprised of. So again, thank all of you for that. Check my notes here. We started this to make the startup journey, simple and engaging. The mission is to, introduce and again tapping into the great resource that is this community to find the support and facilitators and mentors that could really benefit all the startups. Again, like I said, the value proposition. This has been a free, 100% volunteer program. Again, we can't thank enough the hundreds of volunteer mentors and facilitators and subject matter experts that have been a part of it since day one. And another good thing, which is part of our value proposition, is just the one-on-one mentorship, right? We can be that accountability partner and identify the specific needs of our founders, and sure enough, within the lead community, usually find someone to help support those efforts. And of course, what they get, like I just mentioned, the community, mentorship, of course, the network, of course, that could never be underestimated. And a big thing, and I see Alina here, every few weeks throughout that 12-week process, we have a pitch practice session where Alina and Stephen Aporta, who couldn't make it this week, provide really, really valuable feedback as people continue to develop their pitches. And again, this is just sort of reinforcing, all of the different aspects that are specific to this Lisa program. And of course, demographics like Deepti mentioned earlier, we're just really proud of the reach, of our diversity, of the founders from how many countries?
37 countries.
37 countries, lots of time zones. And again, for those 37 countries, we've probably had mentors and assistants in even more than 37 countries. You see the industries and the rest of our demographics, which are available on our website. So.
Yeah. So what we've done also is on Monday, we've launched a Lisa community platform where we want to invite all the founders, DD mentors, as well as people who've ever been associated with Lisa to come on that platform and kind of cross-connect their expertise with each other. And also find value in not just to, while the cohort is going on, but also cross-cohort. And we also invite non-Lisa members to join in, and we hear a lot of requests all the time for people to join the community, so this is the place to be there. And we are always recruiting for mentors and founders for the next cohorts from here. So just get on, and we can always, guide you into the platform later on after this session if you guys are interested.
Well, and Deepti, if I could also add just the whole networking aspect. Like, again, thank you for our judges being here today. If you look at some of our founder stories, they presented at PitchFest. They didn't even necessarily win, but it was a friend of one of our judges who actually, hooked that person up to get that investment. So, again, the power of networking is just huge, obviously.
And we've been very lucky, and I would say very lucky to be actually advised by some of the best people here at Stanford. So we have Marina here, who's been supporting us since day one. And when we had the idea to start Lisa, she was the one who actually encouraged us and kind of got us the way in. We have Davina as well. She could not join in today, but she used to be the general manager of Embark, and now she's moved to another department within Stanford. We have Singari, who used to also be working within Stanford. Now she's joined the Nike Valiant Labs. We have Professor Chaim Mendelson, who's also been supporting Lisa. Stefan Aporta, who's been an amazing advisor for us, who's been providing feedback day in and day out, every cohort. He could not be here as well, but we have Alina Adams here, and we would want Alina to just come in for 2 minutes, because you've done so much for this community, and you deserve to be here.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I had back-to-back calls and I literally just made it, and I'm so happy I was able here for the opening. Well, most of you know me through the online sessions, giving you sometimes rough feedback, but it comes from my heart, so please forgive me if I'm too direct. But I just wanted to reinforce the network, the strong network that we have here, and the genuine desire to support entrepreneurs and help entrepreneurs to grow and just be successful, however you define the success is. And we have a range of companies with different background, different stories, different business models. But everyone has this passion for something that they do. And that's why we also want to support you, because we see your drive, we see how hard you work on it. And we'll see 9 pitches today, but all of the companies they're pitching, they're amazing. It's so hard to just pick one and say, okay, well, you get to pitch, you don't get to pitch. Everyone works so hard, and we see that work, especially Stephen and I, since we see iterations and progress week after week when we do these sessions. So I want to congratulate everyone, and I'm happy to be, and I'm honored to be on the advisory board, be supporting Elisa, and I'm looking forward to seeing the pitches today. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alina, and she's really contributed to a lot of our success, so thank you for everything you've done. Um, we do want to also acknowledge a lot of the people who work behind the scenes, never get seen. They would be partly conducting, this PitchFest, so me and Edward are going to be off the stage now, and they are the ones who are going to take up. But, this is the team which has been helping us, run the operational side of Lisa. And of course, every cohort we have design thinking mentors and mentors. They're always on a rolling basis. And for this cohort, these are the design thinking mentors. And this was the mentor team. And of course, being led by our mentor facilitators, which is Chris and Valerie. So if you guys want to be mentors, they are the people to get in touch with. And now for the fun part, we have Professor Matt Abrahams in the room. And I'm certain there's nobody who would say that they're not waiting for this moment to hear from him. So congratulations on your new book, and we want to hear more. Thank you for joining us.
There you go, sir. Good morning, and welcome to campus. It is lovely to see all of you, and congratulations for coming to campus and taking advantage of the incredible opportunity that Me2We affords. I just want to take a few minutes to give some suggestions and advice around some tools that can help, not just in pitching for today, but can help in the future as well. So I'd like to introduce you to 3 tools that we will make sure you get more information from me, so you can just absorb it without having to worry about it. I want to talk about how we can best introduce ourselves, how we can do a very short, concise, and clear pitch for our businesses or for an idea we have, and then how we can best answer questions if questions come. So to begin, introducing yourself is critical. Often you have to do it. In fact, you've probably been doing a lot of introducing of yourselves just in the past few days. I prefer, when I introduce myself, not to say my name first. Most of us say, hi, I'm so-and-so. I'd rather you start with a definitive statement about something you care about. Then say your name, and then make some kind of connection with the person you're speaking to. So when I introduce myself, I say, I'm somebody who's really passionate about communication. My name's Matt Abrahams, and I look forward to learning about your thoughts on communication or whatever's in front of us. Here's why I like this. First, many of us in this room have accents. We are very good at understanding accents, but it takes us a second to connect, oh, that's how that person speaks. So if you say your name and I'm trying to figure out that accent, I don't hear your name. But if you say a statement first, I go, oh, that's how that person speaks, great. And then when I hear your name, it helps. Plus, by making a definitive statement up front, you can convey some emotion. It's really hard to be emotional about your name. But I can say, I'm really passionate about communication, and you hear that I'm passionate. So think about how you can come up with one phrase about something that's important to you, then say your name, and then connect to the person you're speaking with. Now, if anybody knows and you know my work, I don't believe the best way to learn communication is to listen to somebody talk about it. It's doing it. So I'm going to ask each of you to turn to somebody next to you and I want you to introduce yourself in the format I just suggested. Think of something that's important or you're passionate about. You'll say that, you'll say your name, and then you'll say something to invite or connect to the person. This activity should take less than a minute to do. Okay, so turn to somebody next to you, introduce yourself, and then switch. Are you taking a selfie behind you or in front? Okay, perfect. I didn't know if I should be smiling or not. All right. Okay, no, it's okay.
I'm the front face and he's the back.
Oh, okay. Saturday? Yes. I just couldn't tell. All right, let's come back together. So, I saw lots of smiles. How was that? I'd like to hear from a few of you. How was that? Was it helpful, hurtful, fun, useful? Please, I see a thumbs up, okay? When you introduce yourself in this way, it allows you to connect. It gives you a place to start a conversation from. One of the things I learned with the release of my new book, I have several examples of spontaneous speaking situations. And I thought for sure people would be interested in Q&A and feedback and how to apologize. By far, the number one thing people are interested in is small talk. This is a great way to start small talk by introducing yourself with something you're passionate about. That gets you out of that doom loop of my name is, your name is, and then we're no better off than when we started. So how you introduce yourself matters. Try it. Try it for the rest of your time here on campus and beyond. The second tool I'd like to put in your toolkit is a way to do a quick pitch. 2 summers ago, I was teaching an executive education class here, and they brought in 25 firms, small startups, and they gave me 30 minutes to work with each one to help them pitch. It took each group roughly 20 minutes to explain to me what they did, and that only left me 10 minutes to help coach. And I thought, this is ridiculous. I need to figure out what they do quickly. So I invented this structure that I hope will help all of you. It certainly helps me. It's 4-sentence starters. And again, we'll get you this information. What if you could, so that, for example, and that's not all. What if you could, so that, for example, and that's not all. This is not a complete pitch. This is not what you'll see today. But if you get in an elevator with somebody and you introduce yourself the way I said, and they said, oh, hey, I'm an angel investor, tell me more, and you've got from floor 1 to floor 3, this helps. What if you could, so that, for example, and that's not all. I'm going to pitch the lead program in this structure so you can see how it works. What if you could develop and hone your business skills so that you can become a better manager, a better leader, a better person? For example, yearly, you can come to the Stanford campus and meet amazing people who are part of the same program you are. And that's not all. You'll also be able to get exposed to various viewpoints and learnings that will help you and the people that you manage. What if you could, so that, for example, and that's not all. What if you could draws attention. Attention is the most precious commodity we have in the world today. You get people excited. So that is the relevance. Why is this important? For example, grounds it in reality. And that's not all shows what's possible beyond whatever it is you're talking about. So this is a very quick way to just condense what it is you're saying. So we know now how to introduce ourselves. We have a quick way of pitching. People often ask questions. We go from monologue to dialogue when we pitch. I have a structure that I like for answering questions. Many people, when they answer questions, take us on a journey of their discovery of their answer as they're thinking it through. In other words, they say too much, and it's hard for us to remember. 3 simple steps to answering an effective question in my mind. Answer the question, give a detailed example, and describe the value or relevance. You answer the question, you then give an example that reinforces it. We remember concrete detail better, and then we explain how that's important or relevant. Can somebody ask me a question about something that I have shared with you in the last 5 minutes? I'd like to demonstrate how to use this structure. Please. Oh, standing up, even formal, yes.
How did you get so good at communicating?
Well, thank you for the compliment. I still think I'm a work in progress, and my wife definitely thinks I'm still a work in progress. Getting good at communication boils down to 3 things: repetition, reflection, and feedback. You have to practice. That's why opportunities like this, groups like Toastmasters, programs like LEAD can help. If you take the time to practice, to reflect, and to get feedback from others, you too can become a better communicator. Answer, concrete example, describe the impact and relevance. I call it ADD for adding value. Answer, detailed example, describe the relevance. If you answer questions in this way, they're clear, they're concise, and memorable, hopefully. Thank you for that question. So today, I hope you're leaving this session, at least my part, with some ideas about how you can better introduce yourself, pitch in a very quick, pithy way your ideas, your businesses, and to answer questions that might come up. I am so excited to hear these pitches today, and I'm so excited to interact and get to chat with all of you. Now, I'm going to take a page out of my marketing colleague's book and remind you that after lunch today, we're going to have a live recording of Think Fast, Talk Smart, and I would love to see all of you there. All right? Excellent. Thank you for the opportunity, and best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rahul, and I'm a part of a LISA executive team. So now it is a time to start our PitchFest. And before that, we should welcome our esteemed panel, judges. And I want to request each one of you to please introduce yourself, and yeah, we'll go from there. Thank you.
To just refuse. I mean, right after that, I can't think of even one thing that will go down and I won't get a good grade on this one. So, with due apologies, I'm passionate about investing in diverse teams that are innovating in healthcare. How did I do on that one? I'm a VC. I've been a VC for a few years now. Before that, I was, an entrepreneur, a technologist, an academic, all of the above. And my name is Preetha Ram. I put that at the end. And I'm really looking forward to hearing this because I know it's going to be a mind-blowing experience. Thank you so much for having me here.
Hello. I'm a climate tech investor, and I've been in the deep tech investing space for about 30 years as venture capitalist. And my name is Sam Lee, currently with ESIF Funds.
Hi, everyone. I'm really passionate about supporting early-stage entrepreneurs who are especially mission-driven. So to provide a bit more context, I'm a venture capitalist at Emerson Collective. We are a social impact organization and deploy a range of tools from policy to philanthropy to venture capital to tackle some of society's most pressing challenges. And on the venture side, we're really looking for founders who have the potential to create generational impact and venture scale returns. Invest across a number of areas: healthcare, climate, education, future of work, et cetera. And my name is Joanna, and great to see so many familiar faces from Monday night.
Hi, everyone. Nice to be back on campus. I'm a GSB alum, class of 2021. My name is Naren Ramaswamy. I work for Spike Ventures, which is part of the Alumni Ventures umbrella of funds. We manage, alumni in total manages 1.3 billion AUM, and it is the nation's largest VC investor for individual LPs. I manage and lead enterprise AI and deep tech deals at Alumni, and excited to meet you all.
Good morning. I love seeing ideas being brought to life. My name is Sabra Alou. I lead private equity investments and partnerships at Google, and I can't wait to see what ideas you all are bringing to life.
Thank you so much, all the judges. So now I will welcome Kesini and Galia to come and do the facilitation of our PitchFest.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. We're very, very excited for our very first live in-person PitchFest. Cohort 7, you all are so lucky. I'm a little jealous. I am passionate about this lead community and Me2We and building the community. I also enjoy improv. And my name is Cassini. Rhymes with casino, just in case. Okay, let me just explain how this is going to work. Each founder is going to be called up to do their pitch. We do have a timekeeper. Timekeeper, raise your hand. Where's the timekeeper? Asya, timekeeper? Yes. Very important. Each founder will have 3 minutes to do their pitch. Asya will kindly provide a 30-second warning and a stop, okay? So make sure that you look over to where Asya is so that we can stay within time. Following each founder's pitch, our judges will have the opportunity to provide comment or ask questions, and that will be a 2-minute time slot. So with that, we will go ahead and get started. And then the slides are going to be advanced by each founder. So I'm going to do the first few, and then Galia will take the next. Galia, please raise your hand. Yes, this is Galia. It's my partner. Okay, so with that, let us start with Cicerai. Welcome, Cicerai. Yep. Switch it on. It'll be a little bit of a delay.
This one?
Yes.
Hello? Hello, can you hear me now?
All right.
Awesome.
Welcome.
All right, so I'm passionate about creating human efficiencies with AI. My name is Luis Canet, and I'm the CEO of Cicerai, a legal tech startup looking to uplift the legal industry using generative artificial intelligence. So our market research shows that the subsegment of the legal industry that is most ripe for disruption is consumer and employee litigation. And the reason for this is because typically lawyers have hundreds or thousands of documents that they need to review in these cases with a business model where they are compensated on a flat fee basis or on a retainer basis. So they only get paid if they are successful. So efficiencies in the legal process become extremely important to build a sustainable business. And what we're seeing is that some of our competitors are trying to bring some of these efficiencies by simply digitizing some of these legal processes or by assisting them with AI only for things such as case law research. So being able to find similar cases or laws that are applicable to the use case. We're looking to have a much more comprehensive solution of specialized AI legal tools that can assist lawyers in crucial things such as document analysis, summarization, or document drafting, but also with other more mundane things such as communication management or billing that are also very time-consuming. So the first of these legal tools that we're actually bringing to market is Cicerai Docs, which is a revolutionary document analytics platform that has been highly optimized to be able to deal with very complex document types and to provide analysis and research that is at par with seasoned legal professionals. And with Cicerai Docs, we're already saving thousands of documents dollars to our customers by automating processes that they usually outsource to other companies or do manually internally. And right now they're able to do it at a fraction of the time, at a fraction of the cost, and with much better quality. And while some of our competitors are going after the big fish, we see a very lucrative long-tail market of customers with law firms from 1 to 100 users that represent 90% of the legal population in the US and a potential revenue market of $3 billion a year. So far, we have onboarded 5 customers to our alpha testing of the platform. We have 2 of them already deploying the platform firm-wide and starting to generate revenue for us in the next few weeks. We're looking to expand the adoption of Caesar docs throughout the entire country over the next few months, and are hoping to get $100,000 to $500,000 of monthly recurrent revenue before the end of the year. The team behind this project is a team of seasoned experts coming from companies like Google and other startups, where we have taken cutting-edge AI and applied it to billion-dollar products in many occasions. And we're surrounded by a team of legal experts, PhDs, software developers, and designers. So I think that's my time. So if you're a legal professional interested in our product or want to participate in the next funding round, please let us know. Thank you.
Maybe I can start with a question. Thanks for the pitch. I'm curious if you can shed more light on your go-to-market strategy and how you sort of land and expand with law firms.
Yes. So as I was saying, like our target market is these mid-sized and smaller-sized legal firms, right? So we have 2 different approaches, one more for mid-sized, the other one more for smaller legal firms. And the smaller legal firms is going to be more of a B2C type of approach, where we're going to use typical marketing campaigns, reducing the customer acquisition cost to be able to get them to self-sign up on the platform and use some of the capabilities alongside many of the other tools that they have, right? So it's going to be a matter of promotion, marketing, and reaching these long-tail customers. For the mid-sized firms, we're actually combining forces with different legal organizations and trade shows. So we're going to be assisting a lot of those during the year. And these customers, these mid-sized customers, we estimate that they can generate for us somewhere between $5,000 and $10,000 of revenue per month. So in order to be able to reach those initial goals, like we have already identified which trade shows we need to attend to be able to reach those revenue goals that we have before the end of the year. Any other questions?
Can you talk a little bit more about your underlying technology and how you're kind of building a moat around what I think is building off of other existing models?
Yeah, so we actually use a combination of existing models and proprietary models. So what we're doing is we strongly believe that a verticalization of generative AI, it's actually a big differentiator, because even though there are a lot of tools out there that do document analysis using generative AI, maybe using ChatGPT, when you actually go into specific cases, the specific cases that our firms, our law firms are going after, they require specialized document parsers, right? Because the documents that they deal with are very complex in nature. They also need specific reasoning that actually is not something that you can get out of the box for some of the models. So we actually have our, what we call our chain routers that help these engines reason in different ways, and we actually pick and choose which model works best for which type of use case, right? So it's not one model fits all cases. Like if ChatGPT is the one that works best for this specific type of reasoning, then we'll use that. If an open source model that we have optimized for another use case works better than that, then we'll use that. So we kind of pick and choose based on what the use case is, and then we route to the appropriate reasoning.
Thank you, Cicera.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's give a hand to Cicera, and let's welcome up Global Art AI. Fantastic. And you have the clicker?
Oh, clicker. Okay. Thank you.
Welcome, Global Art AI.
Thank you. Hey, everyone. My name is Sarik, and I'm really passionate about art and technology. So in a changing world, what is happening today is AI is taking over, and the new business models needs to be involved. There are like more than 7.8 million artists today who are not making any revenue from the digital art. And our startup, so we want to change that. So we are combining the marketplace for the art and as well creating our unique technology where any artist, they don't need technical skills to create their own AI technology on our platform. As well, like today, artists, they do not generate like any revenues or royalties from their art being used by other different platforms. If you go to Google or any like Gemini or other platforms, the art is generated and it was trained by on open source data, and the artists who use their IP rights, they never get any credit for how they inspired or how the art has been displayed. And so that's why our team decided to create the authentic and ethical Gen AI platform for artists and great for customers. So by training the models on the intellectual property of artists and as well sharing the revenue with the artists. So like the use cases are for the Gen AI is tremendous. As it could be for gaming, for interior designers, where they can create the images and the interior of the houses. And as well, like there are so many industries where art and the artist's creativity could be used. So these are just like a few steps that we show how like we work, and we train our models in a proper way, as we giving credits to artists, and each art is signed and it has an ID by which artist it was inspired, and we also share the revenue with artists as well.
30 seconds.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so we are like different from the big corporations who are training and not sharing any revenues, as we are authentic and ethical, and it's good for artists and humanity. Yeah, the market size is about $12 billion just for the digital art, and it's growing 17% a year. And right now we're raising $1 million.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Global
Thank
Art
you.
AI. Okay, comment from our judges. Thank you.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes.
So real quick, typically you need huge amounts of data to train these models. Would an individual, and I think you talked about training and on an individual artist's own artwork. I'm kind of trying to see how would they generate that much data from, you know, for a lifetime of artwork of one single artist. So how do you deal with that?
So what we are doing, we're using for the fundamental, we use the fundamental models which were already created on open source, but later we fine tune on the artist data. So, so artists, they provide us like high resolution images of their artworks, and we fine tune the models.
Okay, so you use like at the end like a RAG or something like that?
Yes, we do the fine tuning with so many different parameters to make it look like real as it was in the artist style. Yep.
All right. 20 seconds.
All right. How do you think about competing against some of the larger AI platforms, which are incorporating some of this into their existing models?
So other platforms that don't work with the artists today. So they are not they're not creating the art which is inspired by specific artists. So they train on open models, which are you can go to like Van Gogh or Da Vinci. So they're working on the famous artists. But today, many artists they are not using.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Global Art AI. Let's give a hand for Global Art AI. Next up is AI ID. AI ID. Oh.
There will be three of us today on the stage.
And you have your polymer. Thank you.
Which one? Yeah, okay. Which one? Next. Okay. Lena Ari işte. Welcome.
Welcome to AI ID.
Oh,
And you know,
hello. Hi. Hi, everyone. Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Agassi. I'm jewelry designer and I'm doing all my design myself. And not long time ago, I met by my friend, also jewelry designers, and he started doing his design with AI. And I'm wondering if it's important for my customers to know that if I'm using AI or not. It's really important when we buy a book, for example, for our kids, to understand who wrote this book, or who done with illustrations. So, or even if you go to museum or gallery, who paint that pieces, or even you go to medical office to get understand who exactly made that treatise, yes. So there's a lot of information, and we have to know that. That's why we come with this idea with AIID. Maybe Lara will continue.
So the information is important to make better decisions, to find better options for us, to keep from the uncertainty. And that is why we came to an idea with the AI ID. So today, AI speeding in our life in tremendous speed, and yet we know almost nothing about how AI has been used in the products and services we use. That is why it's much important to give the sense of confidence. Our solution, AI ID, is the first to market AI labeling system that empowers businesses and individuals using AI to show how they are using AI. We created, excuse me. No. Okay, our focusing market could be a wide range, but at the first phase, we are targeting art, healthcare, and education. We wrapped packages for single objects, businesses, and B2B partners. We are planning to reach them through direct, indirect sales, and digital campaigns. And currently, our solution is being used by jewelry stores, design and creation studios, as well as we are negotiating with CubeArt and Wirestock. We already got CubeArt
30
fair.
seconds.
We have no market competitors direct in the market, but there are participants providing labels as AR stickers, while AIRD is a labeling system, universal use, digital and physical labels and QR code, color-coded system, and blockchain and IPFS for storing labels. We already created the methodology and tested it. We created a better version of the system, and now we are asking for $1 million for go-to-market and final developments. Thank you. I would love to have your questions.
Thank you. Judges.
Hey, thank you for the pitch. It sounds like what you're building is, I'll try to paraphrase, it sounds like a stamp that creators can use to show if something was not AI generated, and then the distributors will be able to use it as well to incentivize a buyer to say, hey, this is something that's genuinely created. Is that fair to say?
Thank you for the question. You give me a chance to talk a bit more about that, because we had some little bit. So it sounds like a stamp, but it's not a stamp. It's a three-dimensional system that shows the field, the way, and intensity of using AI. Because stamp is given an idea about only using AI or not. But most importantly, where you are using, in which field, what functions, and how intensively. So what is the intent of use, each function in each industry. So it is a three-dimensional system giving the whole idea. Like for the healthcare system, you can have an X-ray images that might be diagnosed by AI. It is a data storage and data analysis, right? It's not an image detection like in an art sphere. So that gives the patient information that your image, X-ray image, will be diagnosed by AI, but the treatment will be done by a doctor, for instance, okay? So that gives the whole idea how AI has been used and what is the value the customer pays for each service, and make the decision that they want the handmade or the human brain service or the technology-made decisions. And of course, in different industries, the value might be completely different for that.
All right, let's give a hand to AI ID. Thank you so much for your pitch. All right, next up, It's our pleasure to introduce Veda Health. Okay, welcome.
As an ambitious woman climbing the corporate ladder, I was not going to allow my 5 autoimmune conditions and rare disease to define what I could do. Until one day, it was 7:30 a.m., my alarm went off, and no amount of willpower could get me to get up. My symptoms took over completely. This is what's transpired, Veda Health, intelligent autoimmune solutions. In fact, I felt so misunderstood by everyone around me. The only people that could understand me were people that had my condition. And so I started building a community around people who had Hashimoto's and lupus, and eventually it grew up to 10,000 people, and I discovered 3 big problems. First is that cross-collaboration is needed for these types of conditions. Second is that there is no one-size-fits-all treatment when it comes to autoimmune conditions. And the biggest problem was invalidation. It really takes one to know one. And I'm not talking about the pain of the disease, but the life experiences that come with it. So here's the solution I propose. We currently have all these people working in silos right now. Let's bring them on a single platform. We have patients and communities by condition. We have patient coaches to moderate these communities, put the puzzle pieces together for the patient, and help them navigate. Then we have a marketplace of experts ready to hold Q&A sessions from every modality, including conventional to unconventional. And then on top of that, we have redeemable points for patients to be able to redeem points and reduce their medical burdens. So everyone wins with this model. Experts win because they can handle a higher volume of patients and the patients are actually happy. Patient coaches win because they've survived their condition and now they can thrive. Patients win because now they're well informed about their health and they have an improved quality of life. So it's $197 per patient per month. It's $400 for an expert, which includes marketing and location-based patients. And for patient coaches, it's a revenue share model. The bigger the community they bring to the platform, the higher their revenue share. We're already seeing 1 in 5 people suffer from these conditions. It's a $77 billion market. We want to hit $16.4 billion across 50 million people.
30 seconds.
Our competitors are focused on expertise and community alone, but we're putting experience at the forefront of this business. We're going to start out with our 200 interested customers and 40 experts. We're going to expand by 100 new experts every year, expand by 4 new conditions every year, and then expand globally. Today, my only ask is to complete the platform and build a high-performing team. Thank you for my journey to help others.
Thank you, Veda Health. Fabulous. Judges?
Thanks for sharing your story. So marketplace businesses can be tricky to scale. I'm curious to get your take on how do you think about building both sides of the marketplace? Do you go after supply first, demand first? Would love your perspective.
Definitely. So it's comparable to Uber when it comes to patient coaches. Patient coaches will bring their communities to this platform, which it will help us scale from the patient side. And on the expert side, I already have a network of experts to start with. And to get referrals for other experts, it's pretty feasible since right now they're already marketing to get a broader audience, but this will give them more of a niche audience through this platform.
And your pricing?
So that's what the patients were willing to pay when I built the community of
30 seconds
10,000
remaining.
people. So, and then the experts, they usually pay between $10,000 to $15,000 a month in their marketing alone. So $400 a month was a catch for them.
I think that's our time. Veda Health, thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. I'm Galia. I'm taking over the moderation from here. I am passionate about genetics and making people healthier throughout innovation, and owner of a startup from the past cohort, now helping happily the next founders. With that, I would like to welcome on stage Insight Forge. Where are you? Good luck, guys.
Hi, everyone. I'm Vijay. I love solving problems with data. And this is Pritesh, my co-founder. We are Team Insight Forge. The problem that we are trying to solve is IDC estimates 50% of the time spent by data professionals in collecting data and analyzing data. Right? And this problem becomes even worse. When you look at a typical line of business manager in any company, they spend tons of time trying to sift through all the information they have, all the internal dashboards they have. Biggest problem is companies have invested millions of dollars and hiring technical skills, building dashboards and reports, yet customers spend weeks and months trying to get the insights they need. Introducing Insight Forge. It's an AI conversational platform that allows you to connect your data set and ask questions and get answers instantly. The platform understands your business, recommends insights that you need to look at automatically. It's as simple as 3 steps. Connect to your data source, ask a question, get an answer. Let's look at how it looks like. Tom, the same line of business manager, logs into the platform. The platform understands Tom's role in the organization. It also understands the past conversations that he had with the platform. The platform recommends the metrics that he needs to look at to drive the business forward. Tom asks a question about customer support cost. Platform analyzes what data set is required, comes out with insights, chooses the best visualization required to project the data. Tom further asks the platform to say, hey, how do I, what is your recommendation? What should I do about this? The platform understands that he needs to look at a metric called cost per inquiry, and based on that metric, the channel that is best suited for reducing customer cost is the answer that it provides. So we've implemented this for a couple of customers as pilot, and from the pilot, we see that the speed of decision making is improved by 90%, and the cost of analytics has come down by 75%.
Overall data analytics market is roughly around, going to be around 100 billion plus by 2030. To that, we are focusing from our go-to-market by leveraging our expertise into the financial sector, at the same time building a core alliance with the resellers.
30 seconds.
Sorry, yeah, co-alliance with the resellers and the SaaS providers. Along with that, we have 2 pricing models. Very simple, usage-based, which will charge the user for per request. It is good for individuals and SMBs, where we have our enterprise model, which is good for our enterprise scale big customers. We expected to grow up to an 11 million ARR. So when we are starting by 2025,
Thank
we are
you,
going.
Insight Sport.
Sorry?
Thank you. Your time is over. Thank you.
Okay.
I would give the word to the judges. Does anyone has questions?
Thanks for the presentation. It seems like this concept, right, could easily be taken by some of the larger players in this space who are already dealing with data, Google being one of them. How are you kind of differentiating yourselves, and what is your go-to-market plan for accessing some of these customers?
Yeah, that's a great question. What we've seen with the big players in the market is they're trying to build a horizontal capability for enabling these applications. And what we're trying to build is a verticalized solution where we allow models that are trained and trained to run anywhere, right? So it's a complete platform versus providing an API that does what customers need.
Okay. Thank you, Insight Forge. Next on stage, I would like to invite Cargo Watch. Where are you?
Good luck.
Hello. Whoa. Hello. So when you go to Target tomorrow, you have a homework assignment. Look around. 80% of what you see on the shelf at some point was freight cargo before it hit the shelf. So as you think about this, everything that you're seeing at some point was on a boat. Can you imagine how crowded those boats must be in order to bring everything over? In fact, you can't imagine it because it's not true. In fact, unused capacity on boats is such a problem that last year, under President Biden, the OSRA Act was passed, and it now requires that ocean freight carriers disclose unused capacity on their boats. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to take the global trade market, which is about 24 trillion, 80% of it goes by boat, you're talking 19 trillion and change. And then if what we're seeing from OSRA disclosure is 10% of unused capacity on a boat, you're talking about a $192 billion market of unused capacity to ship things. So Cargo Watch is bringing together people who need to ship things with unused capacity on a boat. So we're going to be the Airbnb of the ocean.
Let's talk a little bit more about how you do this. Well, first and foremost, you need to visualize this data. And at its core, every boat, when it's coming into port, has to disclose what exactly its manifest looks like. So we created a 3D model of every single boat that's on the ocean coming into port. From there, we risk assess each and every single one to tell you where it's been, what the potential concerns are, and when you might get detained. After that, we'll find exactly where that boat is in real time using satellite imagery and other data, and we'll come through the sea. Needles in haystack, finding exactly which one of those vessels has your materials and when it's going to come into port with any potential delays, all guided by our AI app called Me2We. Then we'll let you know exactly when it gets off the boat and how it's getting into the port so you can schedule your pickups from your various freight and cargo forwarders. In order to do this today, we think we can do it for initial seed investment of about $2 million. Now, the reason why we can do that is because we started with a head start. The individuals that we work with designed the custom systems that customs use today all around the world. And that base product is allowing us to streamline and elevate in ways that other people never have been able to envision or think of before, because we know where the data exists. We know how to access it, and we know what the customs officials are looking for. So who wants to take the journey with Cargo Watch?
Thank you, Cargo Watch. That's impressive, and you're exactly on time. Now, giving the word to the judges.
I'd love it if you could share a little bit more about how exactly you're gathering the data and what the platform is doing on the back end.
Yeah, so there's a complex data ontology that exists in freight forwarding. So it starts off with the initial invoice being traced into the bills of lading with a series of house bills that flow, and then eventually at each port along the way, that disclosure goes into the port to let them know if there's any concerns, and this is how customs decides what they're going to audit and what they're going to investigate. It's all big data analytics. So what we do is we effectively tap into that work stream, and that's what we use to visualize and to create the 3D models.
Just a quick question about the business model and the moat around you and why no one else will be able to do what you're doing.
They've been trying. This has been like the pearl of the sea for a number of years. And you've seen things like TradeLens, you've seen Altana, you've seen a handful of companies that have tried. The problem is really the subject matter expertise. So what you're seeing here are two trade attorneys that really know this background, as well as the customs officials that we used to work with.
Sorry, I have to interrupt you. We are not going well with the time, so I would allow only one question, but you are free to connect afterwards and take this forward.
Please do.
Yeah, sorry about that. I have to be the bad guy. Thank you. Next is One Step Beyond.
Sorry, I just need a second to set this up. All right, what's up? My name is Kat, and I'm the founder of One Step Beyond. Underwater photography is my biggest passion. I've always been fascinated by the ocean, and I've dedicated much of my photography career to capturing its beauty around the world. But this ecosystem is at the verge of crisis. 38 million tons of marine life are unintentionally caught every year as fishing bycatch, and 90% of all marine species are at risk of extinction in just 80 years due to human pollution and climate change. So here's our problem statement. How might we empower influential people to drive impact to marine conservation? Our market research shows that there are successful, adventurous people who both want to do good and who also enjoy underwater experiences, but they struggle to find operators that meet their expectations of luxury. So here's our value proposition. Luxury marine adventures with purpose. Our solution is to design adventure trips on board private yacht charters that benefit marine research projects, blending luxury with social good. Our expeditions provide bucket list experiences and provide data for research projects that support wildlife protection. Here's one example. Our private yacht charter will accompany a shark research vessel to an area that's normally off limits, accessible only under a special research permit. Guests will assist with data collection and scuba dive over 80 feet deep with great white sharks, an experience exclusive to this vessel. The trip will fund the data collection for research papers, whose goal is to inform new policies to reduce targeted fishing and bycatch. These policies could save some of the 100 million sharks that are currently killed this way each year. Last year, the luxury ocean adventure travel market was $10 billion. This means that if we can capture even a 20th% of that market, we already have a $5 million with plenty of room to grow. One Step Beyond is a new travel company, but we've already been running expeditions around the world with paying clients on a smaller scale. We're now looking to grow. We've been researching businesses in successful luxury markets, and we've studied how they grew, and we have an idea of what we need to do to scale as well. We're asking for $500K, which we plan to use to pivot into the high luxury market through a series of steps. Our first step is customer acquisition. We plan on engaging high-performance executive coaches who are aligned on our commitment to wildlife protection and who are already coaching executives and celebrities. We'll partner with them to bring in their client bases on our exclusive expeditions, which will tailor around personal development through once-in-a-lifetime experiences. Similarly, we'll partner with corporations for experiential team-building trips for executives. Our next step is to enter exclusive high-end spaces to further grow our customer base. We'll build a presence at events that are already proven by existing luxury companies to provide high ROI. We'll also spend funds on targeted high-end marketing. For example, on magazines only distributed on private jets. Based on what we know about the spending habits of people in these spaces, we can estimate a profit of $100K per expedition. This means that in order to make $5 million profit, we need to run 50 expeditions per year or one per week. To do that, we'll invest in training additional expedition leaders. But $5 million is just the beginning. Beyond that, we'll build our own global fleet to run multiple expeditions in tandem around the world.
Thank you, Kat.
Let's continue the conversation.
Thank you, Kat. Any one of our judges has any comment?
And who do you market to? Who are you selling to, and how much are you charging?
Yeah, sure. So based on the people we talked to for market research, these people are usually paying around 35 to 50K per trip that they already go on, so we're going to match that pricing. And that's how we calculated the 100K profit per expedition, is through that pricing model.
Does that limit?
Yes, we're trying to pivot into this high luxury market, and so we are specifically targeting people who are willing to pay that price range.
Thank you so much. I'm not able to allow more questions, unfortunately. Next on the stage is, thank you. Next on the stage is Junkex. Yes, of course. I met with Sarah yesterday.
Ready? Hola, I'm passionate about financial inclusion. Mi nombre es Gabriel Viera, and I'm the founder of Junkex, a new type of banking for Puerto Rico. I'd like you to meet Amira. Amira is a single mother and an Uber driver and a waitress. Amira doesn't know how to manage her finances, and she doesn't have employer's benefits such as 401k or life insurance. She uses her mobile phone for daily tasks and work. However, she hesitates to use it for banking because she doesn't trust the process. Like Amira, many Puerto Ricans don't have access or know how they should be using financial services many of us take for granted. They don't trust banks, or they just don't know how to bank their money. And banks simply don't speak their native language. Not having a bank account means that they don't have access to savings, credit, lending, trading, or insurance. That's why we created Junkex, because it's not banking, it's personal. My career in financial service spans over a decade in governance, risk, and compliance, working with banks and fintechs. Other founders are Chris Silva, fellow leader and Chief Revenue Officer, Margie Vieira, Chief Advocate for the Customers, Kurt Schlinder, one of the top financial advisors in Puerto Rico. Junkex is a fintech that aims to promote financial inclusiveness in Puerto Rico. Our unique market value is that Junkex will be Puerto Rico's first neobank that offers a fully digital onboarding experience that includes financial services and integrated finances and financial literacy, all in the user's native language, en español. We will gain trust. We will gain Amira's trust by offering modules and quizzes so she can learn how to manage her finances. We promise her that we will help her rewrite her story. For our MVP, we're targeting 15% of the banking age population. After that, we plan to scan to the Latino population in the United States because Latinos households are more likely to be unbanked than your average US citizen. Our business model is tried and true. By banking 100,000 customers at $20,000 a year deposits, we'll gain a revenue of $35 million a year. Other revenues are card interchange and commissions from insurance products and investment products. Branches built to banks are around the world, and Nubank is one of them, with a $32 billion valuation. Junkex can pave the way for Nubank's entry into the US. We plan to promote downloads and incentivizing $50 each quizzes, and with a customer acquisition of $150. To make this happen, we need $5 million to meet regulatory expectations, to get licenses, and to build technology. To get our first customers in our MVP, we need to raise more funds in Series A and scale from there. We expect a return for year one of $35 million, year two, $57 million, and year three, $87 million. Join us in empowering Amira to redefine her dreams. Have a great rest of Me2We. Muchas gracias.
Thank you. Muchas gracias. Giving the word to the judges. Oh, you will need the mic.
Can you talk a little bit about the regulatory environment in Puerto Rico and how you're going to address that, especially when expanding into the US market?
Yes, sure. That's a great question. I don't know if you know that Puerto Rico is part of the US, and the legal and banking framework is the same as the US. So we follow all regulations. So everything that is required from a US bank is required from a US to a Puerto Rican bank. And what we're looking for is to get an MSB license and lending licenses, which we have to meet all of the regulators such as FinCEN and FDIC and Fed.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, last but not least, EV Link.
Thank you.
Welcome on stage.
Hope I can be clear today. Bad headache. So I'm passionate about renewable energies. My name is Sergio. Today I want to introduce you to a product that will increase the opportunities for EV charging. So here's the problem we are trying to solve. This is an area in San Francisco, very busy area. And last time when I checked, there were only 2 charging points for electric vehicles. Overall in the US, less than 15% of charging stations are level 3 fast charging. And the common problem of these stations is the high price per kilowatt, sometimes comparable to driving a gas-powered car. The rest of chargers are level 2. While they deliver a more economical solution, the problem is the waiting time, 30 minutes or more per car often. The problem is going to get worse. In blue is the EV market growth, and in green is the charging infrastructure. So today we have, this year we have a ratio of about 26 EVs per charger, and by 2028 it's estimated to have 35 EVs per charger. When you look at the market segmentation for electric vehicles, almost half of market is non-Tesla. While Tesla is ramping up their infrastructure for fast charging, there's no unified solution for the rest of the market. Our value proposition is to deliver an economical solution for these customers where they want it and when they want it. One way to deliver this fast is to leverage the existing infrastructure, such as residential homes, and connect them through a digital platform like EV-Link app to EV drivers. This is a glimpse of the software we're working on. The drivers can find the location on the map, can book it in advance and pay for it, while homeowners can subscribe to a platform and advertise their charger. I interviewed 18 potential customers so far, and the good news is that most of them would like to join the platform right away, either as an EV driver, homeowner, or both. This is our go-to-market strategy number one. We are targeting a specific community in San Francisco, where we are connecting with the homeowners and educate them on this opportunity. Step two, besides advertising large platforms, we are engaging in conversations with solar, storage, and energy provider companies to see if it makes sense to introduce this solution together. This is a high-level calculation for revenue opportunity. We consider non-Tesla vehicles only, and the numbers represent fraction from transactions. That gives us an opportunity of 20 million this year with a growth to 63 million annually by 2028. This is our current team. My co-founder, Matthew, has more than 15 years experience in business development in energy sector, while I have almost 20 years in semiconductor and solar energies, where
Thank
I
you,
had...
Sergio. Thank you. Your time is over.
Okay.
Now, time for the judges.
Yes.
How do you deal with security at home?
Security, yeah, that's a good question. So we are planning to, step by step, first we are implementing the digital platform. They would like to expand into hardware as well. So we would like to own the plugs so we can control them over the platform, make sure they work. And also we want to approach these from security standpoints as well, like cameras and stuff like that. So they ensure that the vehicles there are in secure environment.
Thank you so much. And thanks for everyone that presented.
Thank you so much. I hope you guys were all inspired from all the ideas that were coming from this community. And congratulations to everyone. I mean, you guys have done amazing. We've seen that how much you guys have worked for the past 3 months with us. Now we want to invite Professor Ilya Shchebulev, who is actually leading the venture capital initiative at Stanford. And he's releasing his new book and wants to talk about venture mindset. And I think that's something we can all benefit from. So, Ilya.
Thank you, Deepti. Good morning, everybody. First of all, who had a chance to hear already me yesterday or the day before yesterday? Okay. Well, don't leave, because I will try not to repeat myself too much. Okay. And the reason I'm not going to repeat myself is because in 20 years at Stanford, I've learned quite a lot about how venture capitalists make decisions and about how founders can make sure that the probability of their startup success is a little bit going up. So here's a couple of thoughts let me start with. And those thoughts passed through my head as I was thinking about through all the principles and playbook mechanisms that we discuss in our book, The Venture Mindset, through the amazing, amazing pitches. The very interesting first thought that I came about is, in our book, we quote a lot of venture capitalists. And one quote that came to me is by one of the leading biotech investors. Her name is Cami Samuels, and she's a general partner at Venrock, a famed, storied venture capital firm that's been around since the 1960s. And she told us something that other venture capitalists repeated again and again and again in the venture mindset, which is startups may create value, but the biggest risk is that they may not capture it. And I think that it's very important for every single founder in the audience, including every single founder who was on stage here in the past 1 hour, to reflect on. And I've been saying this in hundreds of my Stanford MBA students who took my venture capital class over the years. And there are, as already mentioned the other day, over 400 of them that raised venture capital money. And where I observe why many of those startups failed even though they had amazing founders and amazing ideas and very often amazing investors, is because they created ideas, they created value that was realized then by somebody else. So how to make sure that this is captured by you, how to make sure that the value is captured by you. Think about the following issues. One, how you are going to go to market and convince the customers. And this is something that I think is very useful, and also this word combination is a part of the venture mindset that we describe in the book, which is called the pain point. What is the pain point of your potential market customer, your client? Then you have a high chance of capturing the value. Second, what is the cost of going to the market? Because maybe there's a pain point, maybe you can capture the value, but it's going to be too expensive. An example, and I think it might apply to some of the pitches that we've heard today, is, as the many venture-minded investors would say, if the startup's go-to-market strategy is to advertise on Facebook or Instagram, I'd rather invest in Meta's stock. Okay? So think about your smart go-to-market strategies. Anyway, that is one playbook mechanism that I think that you should think about. The second one that passed through my mind as I was listening to your pitches is the word selectivity. So I already mentioned the other day, and you were not there, you actually have to really pre-order the book, okay, to read about this in detail, is that the real venture-minded investors are extremely selective. On average, venture capitalists invest in only one deal per 100 that they consider. And how they do it is a separate issue, but the critical word here is selectivity. And this is what I observe with founders, that very often they're too excited, they're too driven, they're too emotional, passionate about what they do. They're not selective enough. If you look at large companies are all doing many things at the same time. That's because they can afford doing many things at the same time. But when they were small startups, whether it was a Facebook or a Google or Apple or any other startup, without single exception that became successful, they were all very much focused. And the danger I saw today in a couple of pitches, and the danger I'm seeing with a lot of startup founders, is that they don't follow the venture mindset, which is exactly the same as 100 to 1, just applied a little bit differently, which is being selective. Make sure that you focus. Make sure that you don't disperse too much. If you're pursuing at the same time two things, two different markets, let's say, well, software and hardware, okay, or wholesale and retail at the same time, B2B, B2C, etc., that's unlikely to be successful, either of them. You have to focus. That is the second. The third point that I think is really important for startup founders to realize, and again, I kind of got a feeling, at least in one pitch, that I would give this recommendation. One of the most useful words when I teach the venture capital class to our MBA students are the escalation of commitment. If you've never heard about escalation of commitment, make sure that at least you Google it up and read about this. So we devote the entire 10 pages, I guess, at least, in the Venture Mindset book to escalation of commitment. What is that? Do you know that about 200 climbers die every year trying to reach the Mount Everest? Now, what is really sad, okay, but also interesting, is when they die. At what point? Very close to the top. Why? Because when it is very, very close to the top, sometimes it's 20 meters. Now, 20 meters sounds not really a long distance, but on the Mount Everest, 20 meters means a lot. So when it's 20 meters to the top, it sounds like it's very, very, very close. We've already incurred a lot of effort to get up to here. So let's try to go this 20 meters, okay? And it very often ends in death. And that is the escalation of commitment. which means that you've gone through a very long path. You incurred a lot of pain, you suffered a lot through the journey. The end seems very close, and it's very difficult to say no. But sometimes it is important. So we all heard about the word pivot. And pivot is, I think, an overrated and misused word in Silicon Valley. But the opposite of this, I think, is more useful to understand, which is overcommitment, or the lack of flexibility, overcommitment to your project when it is not going well, when the cost increasing exponentially, is something to be extremely beware of. And again, I've seen a lot of startups that I observed very closely because they started by my former students. I observed a lot of situations where it is very difficult to take a step back. One specific mechanism, how to deal with this, okay? Because every single principle must be applied through a specific mechanism, specific action, specific behavior. Know that with escalation of commitment, it's very, very difficult. Very, very difficult for yourself when you're in the shoes, like when you're on that Mount Everest, proverbial Mount Everest, very difficult to make a rational decision. Because you're emotionally, psychologically too much committed. So one specific decision is you have to use somebody else's brains. So that is, in fact, the role of advisors. For example, well, it also could be the role of a venture investor. One of the challenges of venture investors is that if they're on your board, they also can become psychologically committed and exposed to escalation of commitment, as my research amply shows. And somebody who is an advisor who is not super committed, like, for example, somebody who is not spending too much time on the startup or what you do, day-to-day work, not a part of the board, no fiduciary duties, might step back, step aside, step outside your comfort or discomfort zone and can provide a better assessment. So this is why when we look at top leaders, top venture-minded leaders, and we studied and we mentioned a lot of them, dozens of them, not venture capitalists, not startup founders, but let's say the CEOs of large companies, but they're venture-minded leaders. All of them have one interesting pattern. All of them have some close personal advisors who are not experts in what they do, who are not in their industry, who are not on their boards, because they can provide an independent assessment. So beware, therefore, of three things that I mentioned. So those are three principles, and for each principle I gave you one specific mechanism. And of course there are many, many more, and I will spend 1 minute advertising my book. And then I'm going to be done, because Dipti, I think, is going to shut me up. Okay. So very briefly, the reason I wrote the book with my former student is that I've been teaching here for 20 years. And really, even not every single MBA student can take my class. I think I already mentioned last year we had more than 240 MBA students who were on the wait list for our venture capital class. And the book is written on the basis of this class, but also on the basis of me studying for 20 years how venture capitalists, angel investors, but also innovators in large organizations making decisions. And what I believe the critical thing is how people make decisions. So if you learn how to improve your decision making individually and in a group, let's say in a startup group or in a venture partnership or in a large organization, then the outcome of the decisions is going to be probabilistically much, much better. And the book is very practical, which is it's principle after principle after principle of the venture mindset that I've discovered or confirmed. But then for every single principle, there are many, many, many behaviors, many, many specific, what I call playbook mechanisms that implement them. And the book is coming on May 21st, but I would like you to pre-order it now. And the reason I would like to pre-order it now because I would like to to start the venture mindset movement globally. And for this, I would like to hit a bestseller list. And for a bestseller list, you need to make sure that you buy a hard copy, because bestseller lists in the US are still living in the 19th century. If you buy an audiobook, fantastic, it will not count. If you buy an e-version, it will not count. So I think one of the goals of my venture mindset, which this is my pain point as a customer, okay, is to make sure that the bestseller lists are becoming venture-minded. And so what I'm going also to offer with the book, because I would like to promote the venture mindset, is I'm going to do two things that I've never done before, and quite likely I will never do after the book is out. One is I'm organizing a webinar or webinars for those who pre-order the book right now. That is going to be a dense compendium, so to say, of my entire venture capital class at Stanford. So we'll discuss everything, and it's especially driven for startup founders, because in my venture capital class we'll talk about all the steps of fundraising, how to deal with venture capitalists and angels, how they make decisions, and so on and so forth. So if you buy a book right now, e-version and audio is fine, even though I would prefer hard copy. Right now, then just send an email, a LinkedIn message, etc., and we'll send you back the link for a webinar. And if you happen to buy 10 books, hard copy. Okay? So I'm going to leave this. These are bookmarks with a QR code and some of the endorsements from Eric Schmidt, Eric Yuan, and others that we got. If you buy 10 books, then what I'm going to organize is some kind of what I'm doing with my MBA students. Is it my time? With my MBA students, for my MBA students, I meet with them one-on-one for half an hour with every single one of them. Last year I met with 200 of them and discuss about their startups, their aspirations, and so on. So what Alex, my co-founder, who was a senior executive at Amazon and partner at McKinsey as well, in addition to being a CEO of a startup, of a successful startup, and I offering is the masterclass, where we will get you either locally, if you're local, or on Zoom, in small groups of, I guess, up to 10 people, where you will get us a pitch like this, and we will comment. And then you will be able to observe also how we interact with other founders. So if you decide to participate in this masterclass, make sure that you pre-order now. So we have a limited number of seats, and we will stop it. So therefore, use this opportunity. I'm going to leave this. That's not enough, so please share with everybody else, okay? And be venture-minded. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you, Professor. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Professor. I mean, I have been introduced to your work much before, and my second chapter in my book is actually based on your research, as I mentioned.
And as he mentioned, buy early and buy often. So,
yes,
yeah.
absolutely. So we're ready with the results, and we'll invite Petya and Rahul, or Petya and Nick on stage to announce the winners.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
So to follow Matt's framework, the task that he gave us today, I am a climber. I am the host of the Paths to Power podcast, and I am the co-founder of the Stanford Club of Bulgaria. My name is Petya.
Hello, everyone. I'm Nick. I help lead the design facilitation team here, and I'm excited to announce the winners. Thank you, everyone, for participating and being here, and let's get going.
It is not easy to be on this stage, so congratulations to everyone who presented. It took us some time and effort to calculate everything on time. I think 15 minutes was just enough to sum up like 15 numbers. So here are our winners, our top 3 of today.
Our number 3 3 winner is Yunkex. Photo opportunity? Photo op. Yeah, you can go on the stage. Yeah.
Felicitaciones, Gabriel. Congratulations. More is coming.
So there's a token of our appreciation, and also Deepti Pawa's best-selling book. Wow. Thank you.
Something to celebrate with tonight.
Congrats, everyone. All right, and our second winner is Cargo Watch.
Second place, Cargo Watch. I know this business. Well done, great idea.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
And now, can you feel the tension in the room? We are about to announce the winner of Lisa Cohort 7 Final PitchFest. Huge congratulations to
Halvita.
Well done.
Congratulations. Let's get a photo op.
Okay, so thanks, guys. So with that, I think we're done. We're actually well over time. Thank you all for coming. And just so everyone knows, like we talked earlier on, this is open to the entire league community. Our new cohort will be happening in a couple of months, where if you have a startup idea or want to volunteer, please be on the lookout. Thank you again to our judges. Definitely appreciate their time.